So great to hear you.
Shabbat shalom,
So
great to
excited.
see you.
Shabbat
How are
shalom.
you? In real life. Thank you. Got your crew. Yeah. Here, I
Awesome.
brought some
Thank
extra
you.
printouts,
Super
and
helpful.
sort of bold-faced. I think all of you. And
And then Shabbat shalom, everyone.
go ahead. Old habits.
Well, welcome, everyone. We're so glad to have you here tonight. And I know that tonight's with a combination of COVID and, of course, snow, which in St. Louis probably means an inch. So hopefully everyone has gotten their bread and their eggs and their milk, and you feel fully prepared for what's to come. But we're so glad to have you all here in person and to have our friends and family watching from home. Tonight is really a special night because this week in the Torah portion is what we call Shabbat Shira. It's the Sabbath end song. And so we thought that this weekend it would be very special for us to be able to have our friend Rick Recht here to play some beautiful music for us. It's really the first time we've had other musicians besides the two of us up here for a long time. So we feel really special that we're able to have him on this Shabbat with us. So for most of this evening is really an opportunity for Rabbi Michael and I to sort of sit back and listen, but we'll help lead you as well. But we'd love to turn it over to Rick.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
You made it. You're here. This is amazing. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You try that. Hallelujah. 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 Sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. You sound awesome. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Put those hands together. Hallelujah. Like this. Sing hallelujah. 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 Every voice sing hallelujah. 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 Sing hallelujah. 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 nashira, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah. Hava 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 nashira, hava nashira, hava nashira. Let us sing. You sing hava nashira, hava nashira, hava nashira, hava nashira. Let us sing. Come, let us sing.
Let us sing.
Come, let us sing.
Let us sing.
Come, let us sing. Hava nashira. Come, let us sing.
Let us sing.
Come, let us sing.
Let us sing.
Come, let us sing. Hava nashira. Hava nashira. Hava nashira. Hava nashira. Let us sing.
So every time we come together on Friday night, we have the honor of being able to light candles and do kiddush and motzi. Now for about 2 years, it was just us and our kids up here during COVID. And so we've had a few opportunities since then where we've had others back on the Bima, but it is an exciting weekend for us and our family because tonight our kids are coming on the Bima because it's Jonah's bar mitzvah. So we're gonna have let's just do the Alpers. Will you guys come up tomorrow? We're gonna do Alper Clan because you guys schlepped so far. Come on up. Yes, you're an Alper too. All right, so Nana, you know this because you have seen Jonah do it many times on Friday nights, but Jonah is this special candlelighter. It has taken him 2 years, but he's got it. Are you ready, my friend? Bar mitzvah. See? All right, so we take a breath, we cover our eyes. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hadashem.
Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. And if you want, you can dig into it, and we know it's delicious because Maura
This is the
Diane
first time
made
I
it.
really get to share in one. Aw.
Give Nana some. All right, Molly, why don't you take a lot of it? I know, she's the best.
Made by the best.
Hey, love you guys. Jeffrey, you can take it to your seat. Do you want me to just eat it there?
Shabbat Shalom. How's everybody doing out there? I am so honored to be here tonight. I got to tell you, this means so much to me, sharing in this special weekend with you all. So thank you so much for having me. And, beyond a pandemic, and with even a chance of 1 inch of snow, it is extraordinary that you have made it. Are you all from St. Louis, or is everyone from out of town? But we really have a trifecta. Actually, this week, a quadrifecta. We have Shabbat Shirah, we have Tu B'Shvat right around the corner, we have MLK Day, and we have Jonah Day. That's a lot. That's a lot. I was talking with my wife tonight, Elisa. I was taking her to the airport. She's going to a camp reunion. So I probably shouldn't state what anniversary of reunion it is, but it's a very exciting weekend for her. And we were just talking about our week, and we were talking about what this Shabbat means in many ways, and the synergy of all of these things happening all at once. And in many ways, it seems like we've been through a long winter, like a one season that's been going on for a long time. You know what I'm talking about? But in these seasons, these winter seasons, there's an opportunity. Dr. King saw this opportunity. He felt hope at a time when our nation didn't feel a sense of hope, particularly regarding civil rights, and he saw it. He had a dream. And here we are with Tu B'Shvat just a few days away, this holiday of hope, this holiday of rebirth, this holiday of growth, this holiday of recognizing the opportunities that we're surrounded by. And tomorrow we have a bar mitzvah, a new leader in the Jewish world to make sure that Judaism is always exciting and meaningful and relevant and cool, like Pac-Man on a mask cool. I think this is what this is all about. This is why we're here together tonight, is to recognize these opportunities that we have amidst all the tourists out there that might be in our personal lives and certainly is in the world, that we can have hope. There's a lot of hope here. We sing the word Shir LaAdonai, sing unto God a new song. Shiru LaAdonai, LaAdonai, Shir Chadash, you say, Chadash, nice. Shiru LaAdonai, LaAdonai, Kol Haaretz, Kol Haaretz, Haaretz, Shiru LaAdonai, Baruch Shemo, Masru miyom liyom, Yeshuato, Shiru LaAdonai, you say, LaAdonai, Shir Chadash, Chadash, Shir LaAdonai, Shiru LaAdonai, LaAdonai, Kol Haaretz, Kol Haaretz, Haaretz. We continue with the words of Romamu. I'll sing and you'll sing. You'll echo. We'll sing it together. Romamu. Good job, y'all. Romamu. Romamu. Adonai Eloheinu. Ishtachavu. Ishtachavu. Romamu. 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 Adonai Eloheinu. Ishtachavu. Lehar Kodsho. Ki kadosh, ki kadosh,
Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh, ki kadosh, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu. Romemu,
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 Adonai Eloheinu, Ishtachavu, Romemu,
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 Adonai Eloheinu, Ishtachavu lehar kodsho.
So each time we welcome Shabbat, we find new ways to welcome her in. And one of the ways we do it is we treat Shabbat as if this were such a special time, that it was more than just a time, that it was as if a person is coming into our midst. And so Shlomo Alkabetz Halevi, he wrote this poem, Lecha Dodi, to help us welcome the Sabbath bride into our presence, making this time seem as holy as if there were a sacred simcha that happens every time we gather together on Friday night.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Shamor, Bizachor, Biribor Echad, Ishrianu El Hamiuchad, Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad, L'Shemo Tiferet V'Litchila, Lecha Dodi, Krat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Lecha Dodi, Krat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Likrat Shabbat, Lechu v'nilcha, Ki mekor habracha, Mirush Mikedem Nesucha, Sof Ma'aseh B'machshava Tchila, Lecha Dodi, Krat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Lecha Dodi, Krat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Moed Shalom, Ateret Ba'ala, Gam B'Simcha U'Sola, Toch Emunei Am Segula, Moed Chala, Moed Kala, Moed Kala, Lecha Dodi, Krat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Lecha Dodi, Krat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Lecha Dodi, Krat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah, Lecha Dodi, Krat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalah,
Lecha dodi, lecha dodi, lecha dodi.
I'll invite you, if you will, to please turn to page 28 and rise as we call each other to worship with the words of the Baruch Hu.
Yalalai, yai yai rai rai. Yalalai, yai yai rai rai. Yalalai, yai yai rai rai. Yalalai, yai 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 rai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam, 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 le'olam va'ed. Yalalai, yai yai rai rai. Yai yai rai rai yai yai rai. Yai rai rai, yai yai rai rai. Yai rai rai, yai 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 rai.
Earlier this week, I was with some members of our community, and there was a gentleman, and he was nearing the end of his life, and I was talking to his family about what we do at the end of the life, and she said, "What are the prayers we say?" And I said, "Well, the prayer we say is the Shema." And she said, "Well, can we say Shema now, even if it's not the end?" And it took me a moment to think about it, because in fact, Shema is this prayer that we are supposed to say when our life comes to a close, but it's also the prayer that we say every morning when we wake up and remind ourselves that we're alive again. Every night when we go to sleep and we say to ourselves, "God, protect us this night. Let us remember that you are one, and whatever happens to us, that we know that you are one." So whether we're waking in the morning or going to sleep at night, whether we are in a sacred moment or just this hour of prayer, these words of the Shema, they bring us together with the generations of our past and our future. And so we join together on the words of Shema on page 34.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'vlechtecha b'derech u'shachbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu la'totafot b'neinecha u'chtaltam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kadoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiyot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. So Temple Israel, when you are choosing a bar or bat mitzvah date for your child, You choose it when they're in 4th grade, which is, a long time ago. So I will admit that when Rabbi Michael and I chose this date for Jonah, we did not really realize that it was going to be MLK weekend or that it was going to be almost Tu B'Shvat. But really, we picked it because of the Torah portion. Because part of what's so amazing about this Torah portion is we say it every single time we come together in prayer. Because in the Torah portion that I'll read tomorrow are the words of the Micha Mocham, the words that were sang by Moses and Miriam and the Israelites as they crossed from slavery to freedom. And in the Torah, it's chanted in a very special kind of chant that he'll do tomorrow, but we know that in services, each time we come together, that we find different melodies to make it our own, to make sure that that song of freedom feels like it's new and ours always in every generation. The words are on page 40.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osefet, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Moses and the children crossed the sea, sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Shabbat shalom, 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 Shabbat shalom. Yai-da-dai, yai-da-da-dai, yai-la-lai, yai-lai-la-lai, yai-lai-la-lai, yai-lai-la-lai. Ashkivei Adonai Eloheinu V'shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ashkivei Adonai Eloheinu V'shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Yai la 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 la, yai la la yai la la la, la 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 la, yai 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 la. We continue with Tefillah. Please rise. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai.
שפתי תפתח. Na 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 Ufi yagi tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sfatai Tita. Na 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 Ufi yagi tehilatecha.
Page 48. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotzeinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem L'ma'an Shemo Ba'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav L'Hoshia Mechaker Chayim B'Chesed Mechayei Hakol B'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Ve'Hofech Olim U'Matzir Asurim U'Mekayem B'Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bal Gevurot U'Midom Melach Melech Mimit U'Mechayei U'Matzmiach Yeshua V'Ne'eman Atah L'Chayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei HaKol. Please be seated. Just prior to the service, I was joking with Mackenzie about how long the service would be because we realized that since COVID began, the services have not been quite the same length they used to.
Just abbreviated.
And honestly, I think just what happened is as we started leading services just by ourselves, we got into this zone that was very similar, I think, to what early Reformed Jews did, is that we said, what are the things that matter most? What are the prayers that we just need to hear and need to sing each week to make sure that we feel like our prayers mean something? And so really, no matter what, though I will say, especially when Heather and Beth are here, so glad you're here this evening, we always make sure that we sing Shalom Rav on page 60, because this is the prayer that reminds us that whatever we are doing, we need peace to spread over our communities and over all the world.
Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. Ki Ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. Tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. tasim leolam, tasim leolam.
So I said that this is Shabbat Shira, which is the Song of the Sea. And in fact, it is this beautiful Song of the Sea that's sung by Moses. But in fact, there's another song in this week's Parsha. It's Miriam's song, and it's little. But Miriam gets her own special song of freedom, and then we're not going to hear from her again, actually, for a very long time in the Torah. We hear from her now weeks and weeks and weeks later when actually she falls ill. And when Miriam falls ill, her brother prays for her. And Moses has this very simple prayer, but it's a prayer that has come down through the generations to us. He says to her, El na rafana la. He says, God, please heal her. And so we sing Moses' words to his sister Miriam, praying for healing for all of those in our lives and our community who need it.
Inna rafana la. Rufua shlema, inna refana la. Please heal this soul, elna refana la. Rufua shlema, inna refana la. Please heal this soul. Misheberach, Abraham Nisara, Yitzchak v'Rivka, Yaakov, Rachel v'Leah, Elna refana la, Rafua shlema, Elna refana la. Please heal this soul.
So if there's someone who you're thinking of at this time who could use our healing prayers and who would appreciate knowing their names were being shared here, I would invite you to share them at this time. Arlene, we're praying for you and so glad that you're here with us. We're thinking too of Drew Patchen. And Drew, we're glad that you are not here with us and having a wonderful time with your family, but we're praying for you too. We're thinking also of Lacey Weinstein and Christy Morgan. We're thinking of Lois Perryman and Myrna Cohen, of Aubrey Yowitz and Jerry Krause, of Aubrey Craig, of Helen Robinson. And all the names that we're saying to ourselves silently are keeping in our hearts. We offer our healing prayers for them.
Misheberach navoteinu mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו amen.
First, I just want to begin by acknowledging the sacredness of this Shabbat and having all of you here and having Rick sing, having my family. It is I thought of it as a trifecta, but you were right. It's really well, I don't want to get into the quinilla and other things that only certain folks know about. But it's a very big weekend in terms of sacred time. This Shabbat, we celebrate the crossing of the Red Sea. And right immediately on its heels, we celebrate a very sacred holiday called Tu B'Shvat, the Arbor Day of Israel, but the New Year of the Trees. It's a very interesting combination. And it brings to mind the idea that time is moving very quickly, especially for me now, as I look at a little kid sitting in the seat a few rows up, who is now all grown up. I think about how time has passed so quickly, and the journey that we're all on. In the past year, I had the opportunity, because there wasn't so much going on, to get on the computer, as so many of you did throughout your lives, but I had a conversation with my mother that took me on a journey through different resources, historical resources on the internet. And I found the actual log of when my grandfather, your great-grandfather, came into Ellis Island. And it was a very shocking document for me because I have to be honest with you, Mom, I wasn't really sure if I believed the story in all of its entirety. When it was told, and it was usually told around the Passover table, the story was that my grandfather fled the Nazis, escaped, came here with his life. And the details, especially to me, who didn't get to grow up with my grandfather, were always very hazy from that point on. But I knew that he made the journey across the ocean. And I also know that Rabbi Feder's family made a very similar passage, and that in their family, they had relatives that came across the ocean as well. I began to think about the idea of that Passover discussion and that discovery that I made, because when I looked at the document that listed him coming in, it noted that he departed on a very cold night, February 20th, 1939, from Antwerp on a ship called the SS Gerolstein, which later New York Times articles recorded as a ship that is rescuing too many Jews. And there was much protest and much consternation over this ship and the journeys that it took. Many years ago, my father-in-law starred in a production of Angels in America, and he played a very mean Ray Cohen. Did a fantastic job. But as I recall the play, I think of the opening monologue that's given by Rabbi Isidore Chemowitz of the Bronx Home for the Aged, who, when opening the play, begins to speak about the great journey that my grandfather made, that your father made, that your great-grandparents made. And when addressing the crowd, Rabbi Chemowitz realized that this was too personal of a story, and quite frankly, many people didn't really relate to it very much anymore. The thing is, what they did was so epic. It was so magnificent and heroic and scary that it's almost impossible for me to believe, and for many of us sometimes as we consider it, that people actually did this, that they left everything they knew behind, and with great courage and great hope, they set out for a new world. And Ella is tapping her foot right now. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. And Rabbi Chemowitz in Angels in America says, very poignantly, whether you have literally made that journey or not, in you, that journey is. Everyone is a pilgrim on the seas. And we are all, especially now, after the last 2 years, more aware than ever what it means to be a boat out on the ocean, what it means to actually make your way through, to cross the sea of time, to cross the sea of air, to get to some place, to cross a sea of despair that you have been encountering, to cross a sea of self-doubt, to cross a sea of health crisis or personal crisis. This song reminds us as we sing it, and as it is the most ancient song in the Torah, that we as a people have the strength, maybe not to figure it all out, but with God's help to see our way through. And the journey is never easy, and we are often running from something to some far shore. But at that far shore lies hope. The hope of new opportunity, the hope of Tu B'Shvat. And after this long winter that has come and gone and then come and gone again, and after all the opportunities that we were offered and then got denied, I want you to remain hopeful. And I want to remind you that this song is a victory song that we sing this Shabbos. It is a song of people who are out on the sea and were not sure, with Pharaoh's army chasing them, whether they would make it across. We live in doubt and we live in times of great confusion. But I want to remind everyone that come Sunday night, after the song is sung and we declare victory, after Torah is read by the generations of generations of generations who fled, we have Tu B'Shvat. And even though in St. Louis snow is forecasted, and I know that you all have got your helmets out, your snow tires are ready to get rotated. In the land of Israel, it's a time to begin planting. And in the landscape of our heart, if we cannot be in the land of Israel, I would remind you, in you that journey is. You have come far. You have crossed oceans of experience. And now it's time to look ahead to the year to come, to the things that you can plant, to the things that you can grow and that you can nurture. As we move away from darkness and from fear into light, I wish you Shana Tova, Happy New Year of the trees, Shabbat Shalom. May you be given strength on your journey, and may you be given peace and renewal in the days ahead.
Amen. Well,
I'd like to share a new song with you. It's a song about choosing, about what you were just talking about. That was beautiful. We're the choosing people. You know, they say we're chosen people, but we're a choosing people.
I like that.
We've had to make a lot of choices. We had to choose to cross the sea. Your grandfather had to make that choice. And we've had to make plenty of choices over the last couple of years. And one of the things that we choose is community. We choose these kinds of experiences. We choose what I call our chosen family. My wife Elisa and I have a lot of dear friends that we consider not just our community, but our family. So we'll sing this together, and as we sing this, I invite you to think of the choices that you make, and most importantly, the people you choose to surround yourself with. So I'll sing it, and you sing it back like this. You are chosen. You are chosen. I am chosen. I am chosen. We are chosen. We are chosen. Chosen family. You are chosen. You are chosen. I am chosen. I am chosen. We are chosen. We are chosen. Chosen family. I'll sing it, you sing it back like this. I choose you. I choose you. On this journey. On this journey. Sacred space. Sacred space. Special time. Special time. You choose me. You choose me. And together. We find meaning. Find meaning. In our lives. In our lives. When I'm with you. With you. I am grounded. I am counted. I am counted. I am heard. I am heard. I am empowered. I am empowered. I am inspired. I am inspired. With every thought. With every thought. With every word. With every word. You are chosen. You are chosen. I am chosen. I am chosen. We are chosen. We are chosen. Chosen family. You are chosen. You are chosen. I chosen.
I am chosen.
We are chosen.
We are chosen.
Chosen family. We are chosen. There's a knowing, a soul connection, a leap of faith. And in the places we are broken, we will be born. We'll find our strength when we arise, when we subside, when the waves of our lives crash all around. We'll always rise. I'll be right here, right by your side, right by your side. You are chosen.
You are chosen.
I am chosen.
I am chosen.
We are chosen.
We are chosen.
Chosen family. You are chosen.
You are chosen.
I am chosen.
I am chosen.
We are chosen.
We are chosen.
Chosen family. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Ruach haolam Shenatan lanu kaverim Shehem kimo mishpacha. We are chosen. You sing that. We are chosen. We are chosen family. We are chosen. We are chosen family. I choose you.
Choose you.
You choose me.
You choose me.
Together we are chosen family. You are the melody, I am the harmony. Together we will be chosen family. We are chosen family. We are chosen family. We are chosen family. We are chosen family. You are chosen. I am chosen. We are chosen. Chosen family.
Amen. I don't even know what to say. That was so good. I don't have a clever remark, but it was so beautiful. I'm not supposed to start crying until at least tomorrow. So my friends, before we move towards the end of our service, just a reminder that while we are, of course, still open for services because of the latest surge, the rest of our programming is pretty much virtual. So we do invite you to make sure that you are checking your e-blast or calling the temple to find out if things are happening in person. But we, again, are delighted that you're here with us tonight. We look forward to seeing many of you here tomorrow as we celebrate Shabbat again together. And Jonah's Bar Mitzvah. And at this point, we would ask you, if you will, to please rise. And we're going to turn it to page 282 for the words of the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, l'tzeit gedula l'yotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegayei ha'artzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchakenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונר
U'Shema, U'Shema Echad. And though so many of us are here honoring this time of joy, we know that there are many in our community and watching from home who are watching tonight because they are in mourning. And so we take this time and we recall with love the names of those taken from us in recent days, and our hearts go out to their families in sympathy as we recall their names: Stanley Cohen, Frank Citron, David Furman, Marlene Lefton, Robert Rubin. And we now recall the names of those, the anniversary of whose death occurs on the Shabbat, and whose names have been inscribed in the archives of our congregation or on the wall of honor for perpetual memorial: Dr. Harry Agress, Joseph M. Arndt Sr., Bess Block, William Boxer, Milton David Breschel, Rose Lenore Brown,